How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with some OG status classic Hefeweizen in the form of Hacker Pschorr, probably butchering that, in the form of their Weisse beer. Classic unfiltered wheat beer. This comes courtesy of these guys. Well, at least it comes courtesy of the marketing firm that they hired. I believe the same people kind of represent a lot of the same German breweries, because I believe I got Pollner from the same company and stuff like that. But anyway, I have not had this beer. It could be over 10 years. That's how long it's been since I've had this. But I'm kind of in the mood for a wheat beer. It's like almost 50, 55 degrees outside. We're in February still. It's a very summery day here in northern New Jersey. So, kind of want something a bit refreshing to go outside. Sit at the view out there. Light a little fire. Hopefully this show's improved, so we'll see what the sucker has to offer. There's really not much on the can to speak of as far as words, other than the classic unfiltered, 5.5% alcohol by volume, and that be that. Yeah, done. Label-wise, kind of classic. It's an updated classic. The actual label itself looks a little bit more updated. It has that classic kind of Bavarian style kind of checkered background to it, and then it has the kind of same art design, but a little bit kind of punched up from what I remember it being, at least. So yeah, there you go. So what does that look like? Well, kids, that looks like a hazy beer. That looks exactly like what a lot of people look for when it comes to today's kind of New England style IPA. Let you know a little secret. That's kind of how wheat beers have been from the get. So when you talk about the OG hazy, you're talking about a nice Hefe. And yeah, 2 fingers ahead, because I pour awesomely. And there's that rich orange kind of hazy glow to it. So she looks the part of a New England style IPA or an old school kind of wheat beer. See if we can get a nose through all this head. Yeah, I mean, classic wheat beer. Classic German wheat beer kind of nose. A little bit of soft bubblegum, a little bit of soft banana, but nothing too overt over the top. You get a nice soft wheat character from it, nice sweetness to it. It definitely reminds me of kind of like, I don't know if this is a placebo effect, but that kind of orange characteristic. When people think about the orange in the wheat beer, that thing that so many bars in the United States do. It kind of has that little soft orange vibe to it too. So you're getting the classic notes, that little bit of soft bubblegum, a little bit of that kind of soft banana. Again, in the nose, not that big. But then there's a nice kind of wheat characteristic, maybe a subtle kind of white pepper character, a little bit orange. Done and done. I mean, she smells exactly kind of what I thought I was going to get, in a very fun way, very chuggable way. Let's dive in. Cheers. I mean, the thing that always makes me kind of super happy when it comes to these classic kind of wheat beers is mouthfeel. I mean, this is To-Die-for Mouthfeel. It's one of my favorite things about wheat beers. It's just so creamy, so sultry, so soft. There is a nice bittering component to it. I wasn't expecting that. Whether it's coming from a little spiciness from the yeast, which I think is where a bulk of it's actually coming from, like that peppery note, that white pepper note has actually kicked up a notch, to where I think there is a little bit of hop presence in there too. A little bit bolder, a little bit more aggressive than I thought it would be, based off of memory. I mean, that little bit of banana, that little bit of bubblegum does shine through in the taste, but it's much like it is in the nose, and then it's kind of like a second or third player when it comes to the impact of the beer. And just that wheat characteristic that I got on the nose, not really getting a ton of kind of overt kind of wheat vibes or taste in the beer, but it's definitely there. But it's a fun beer, man. This is tasty stuff. I mean, this is really, for me, this is not very far removed from a new school kind of hazy, just the way it kind of presents itself, the way it looks, the way it smells, and the way it tastes, minus those overt, aggressive, juicy kind of hops. I'm assuming a lot of brewers have kind of used a Hefe, the brewing of a traditional Hefe, as a jumping off point for some of these hazies. Now, a lot of them use like brewer sugars and stuff like that to keep the malt bill down, but you're getting that kind of richness, that creaminess, that softness without a huge malt characteristic. That's why I don't understand why you don't see a lot of wheat-based New England style IPAs as opposed to just brewer sugar or all the other malts they tend to use. I don't know why they don't do it. I mean, there are probably reasons that I am just not privy to or don't understand, because I don't make beer on that level, and I don't make much beer at all. But yeah, I'd be interested to see why You know, someone hasn't really taken this style and kind of Americanized it to the nth degree while still keeping that classic kind of wheat beer malt base to it. Because I think it would work out really well. But as far as this beer goes, classic to a T. A little bit surprising on that little bit of bittering pop you get, but it's nice because it kind of makes the beer a bit more well-rounded. It drinks way above its 5.5% wheat class. This is what I would, blind. I think this would be probably more like a 7% beer. It's just rich, sultry, tasty. I'm a fan. Let's put it that way. And I mean, listen. These classic styles. Speaking to this company that sends these out to marketing firm, they're sending me Polliner. They're sending me Pschorr. These are beers that really tug at my heartstrings. There's stuff that I drank when I first got into beer over 20 years ago, and there's stuff that I rarely drink nowadays because there's just so many options out there. But it's a really cool lesson in a couple different ways. One, definitely want me to say nice things about beer. Just send me classic German-style beers, and I'm probably going to say nice things. And two, it just reminds me how good beer was. It still is. But we tend to forget these beers. The classics of the world, whether it be German Heffes or Belgians and stuff like that. And every time I go back to them, I remember why I like them so much, because they're damn fucking good beers, and this one is much the same. I like it. I think it's classic. This is probably Merriam-Webster dictionary level Hefeweizen for me. What more do you want me to say? Is it one of the better ones I've had as of late? Yes. Probably Mount Rushmore status. It just works that well. That little added pop of bitterness kind of just put it over the top for me. So yes. Value and availability. I mean, should be able to find this pretty much everywhere you go. I got this in a 4-pack of cans. I'm hoping this is give or take around $10. That's probably what it should be, and I'm assuming, hopefully that's the case. It'll leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like old school beers, German wheat beer, stuff like that. But I urge you, if you really do kind of get down with the new school kind of hazy, it might be a fun trip for you to take, trying one of these, because I think there's a lot of similarities there. And I think it would appeal to that mouthfeel crowd out there that really enjoys that kind of really rich, creamy, kind of sultry mouthfeel that a lot of the really well-known, high-end kind of hazy breweries do. So, pick one up. Give it a whirl. You might not like it, but it's an experience nonetheless. And I think you might be surprised, because some of these old dogs definitely have a little bit of skin in the game. There's a whole bunch of analogies that don't marry together, but I use them anyway. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. You want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of classic beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.